Okay, so today I'll be talking about President Barack Obama for my informative speech. My name is Tiffany Jones, and I will first off tonight I'll be talking about his early childhood and his lovely family, and of course the careers that he had before he was president because he wasn't always president. And so automatically, a lot of people think of a president as being someone from a well off family, like he was rich his whole life. And that's far from the truth. He was born in Hawaii, Honolulu, Hawaii to be exact, and he was born August 4th, 1961, and he's mixed. His mother was a Caucasian woman named Anne, and his father's name was also Barack Obama. He was Sir, and our president is the second. Unfortunately, although they lived in the sunny state of Hawaii, it wasn't always sunny, especially in his household. And unfortunately, they got divorced when he was maybe I believe it was 2 or 3 years old. But when they divorced, his parents separated, and his mother then moved to Seattle, Washington to further her studies, and she went to school out there. And she also remarried when she got out there to her second husband. He was Indonesian, and they got married, and they had a second daughter. Well, their own daughter. Her name was Maya. That was classified as his half sister. So that's really the only family he has left. I mean, besides his family now that he made for himself. But when he was living in Seattle, when they met his mother's second wife, they first moved to Indonesia after they got married, but it didn't really work out for him. And although he was growing up kind of in a white state of mind, he was still he was still mixed, and he had the appearance of African American, and which was hard on him. And so while away, he got into trouble, and it was hard for him in school. So his mother made the decision to send him back to Hawaii to live with her grandmother, her parents. And so at about age 4, he moved back to Hawaii, and he seemed to be fairly happy, but he still was troubled by his racial confliction between everyone around him being so-called white and him being different. Um, then he goes on through school. He goes on through school very happily. He plays basketball all throughout his life. And then once he graduated high school, he graduated honors from high school actually. And not letting race hold him back, he goes and graduates from college. The first college he went to was in New York, Columbia University. He graduates from college in 1983. And then he experiments with all of his political science. He graduated from Columbia with a political science degree. And then he moves and goes to Harvard to expand his horizons in Harvard Law to become a law student. He does that, and he graduates in 1991, and then he moves to Chicago, which Chicago he when he got to Chicago, he began off teaching law school, and then also organizing voting campaigns. While doing that, he gets an internship from after graduating. He gets an internship at a local law firm where he meets his future wife, Michelle Obama, formerly known as Michelle Robinson. She was born. She was born January 17th, 1974, in DeYoung, Illinois. She also graduated from Harvard with an art and law degree. And the two they get married in October of 1992. She didn't really want to date him because she was his boss initially, but then there was a business meeting, and then he always hassled her to go out to lunch with her. So they fell in love, I guess. And then later on down the road, the two of them, they get married, they live in Chicago, and they have a daughter. Their first daughter's name was Malia. She's 17. And then they have a second daughter named Natasha, but we know her as Sasha. Sasha and Malia. They also have two dogs. And, well, we all know they live in the White House. But also, really, the only family that lives in that house with the president is his wife, his two daughters, the two dogs. And Michelle's mother also stays in the house to help them all co-op and cooperate with each other and help. She helps them raise the daughter Sasha and Malia. But back to our president, after having time to himself and his family and evolving his life and, well, making a life for himself, like a family, and being happy, he goes back to work. And before he was actually president, he became the Illinois state senator in 1996. But then he loses in the race to become for a seat in the House of Representatives. But luckily, he bounces back, and in 2004, he becomes the U.S. senator. And after years of being the U.S. senator, he announced after only 3 years of being the U.S. senator, he was sworn in January, and then 3 years later, he announces that he wants to run for the 2008 presidential candidacy or the election that year. And fortunately, we all know what happens next. He becomes our 44th president of the United States of America, and he also is the president till today. Until today, he has been in office for 2 terms. And so, as we all know, our president is our president for a reason. So, he did not let his racial conflicts and his racial differences hold him back. And he also found time to make a family and keep balance within his life. He still studies, and articles tell me that they still have family dinner, and his children are very well rounded, and they're not like spoiled brats or anything. They are very normal, I would say. But yeah, that's our president. So thank you, and see you next time. Bye.